I'm here to tell you about dead people, about people dying and being persecuted and tortured for no good reason. They're being all around the world right now. People like us who believe in freedom of belief, freedom of expression, just freedom to sort of to do as you see fit for yourself, practice for yourself, are being persecuted just for practicing that right. So according to Jeff King of International Christian Concern, in the past century alone, more Christians have been murdered for their faith than in any other century in human history. So it's been about 200 million. I realize most people, there's going to be plenty of people who don't associate with Christianity, may feel like, this isn't relevant. You're not personally particularly concerned with Christianity. But according to World Watch Monitor, Christianity is the most persecuted religion in the world. So I think it makes sense as sort of an archetype of the issue as a whole. Many religions are being persecuted, but this is the big one in the sense of numbers. So we know a little more. Personally, I've been interested in it because it's what my family, my mother's always been sort of concerned with, and so I've always sort of been exposed to it, and so I've seen some stuff on it. Megan Clark of International Business Times wrote that persecution of Christians doubled from 2012 to 2013, with Somalia and North Korea leading the top 10 list. And this is just a map of all the different countries that persecute Christians right now in 2013. You can see what it says, but it just gives you a sort of a picture of how widespread it is and sort of the area. So all these countries have sort of their own motivations, their own sort of quirks that contribute to it. But North Korea and Somalia are very different as nations, so I feel like together they give a good, well-rounded picture of the issue. So with that in mind, let's look real quick at North Korea, Somalia, and how the people in those nations are handling the oppression that they're faced with. So looking first at Somalia, let's just get a little bit of background on the nation. The Barnabas Fund is a British support program that deals with the persecuted church, and according to them, the nation has lacked an effective government since 1991. So most of the nation's ruled by warring militias and factions and stuff, but even the ones that aren't maintain a death penalty. Like where the formal government is, there's still a death penalty for anything other than Islam. So there's a strong blanket of oppression over the whole nation with that. And this is a TV slide just to show, it was big enough to make it. It's recently been big enough to make it to mainstream news. And it's a very personal thing. These sorts of attacks, it's one religion attacking another religion. So these are like the beliefs people hold dear that they're going back and forth. And so you can sort of, I think you get a feel for that with these images. This is after, just for the record, this is way after. But it just gives you a picture of, it's a very personal thing. It's a very sort of intimate thing to attack in someone else. So because of this, it is so personal because of the cultural and the chaotic nature of the whole nation. And again, Somalia is just sort of it's an archetype of a general pattern. So moving on from Somalia, let's look a little bit at North Korea. And many of you probably know North Korea is in the news right now a lot, and they're a communist nation, and so that means that they have they adhere to a certain that's a political motivation, and so it's sort of again the other end of the spectrum. So with Somalia being religion, North Korea being the political motivation, and so this is just a picture of their military, and it's very much a very regimented, very structured system. According to Open Doors UK, as one of the few remaining communist states, North Korea is vehemently opposed to religion of any kind, and Christians are classified as hostile and are subject to arrest, detention, torture, and public execution. And one of the things North Korea is infamous for is their prison camps. And their number 15 is like sort of the most infamous, and just that one is supposed to hold 6,000 Christians who are there expressly for that purpose. Like they're put there for no reason other than they believe in Christianity and don't adhere to the nation's rules. North Korea has been ranked as the worst persecutor of Christians for the past 11 years consecutively. So for 11 years straight, they've been listed as the worst. And this is just the after effects. But it's somebody's house that they've, the military has broken into and attacked. And there's it's again this personal thing where it's they're going, they're people's homes that they invade and attack, and it's it's sort of sad to see. And North Korea's fierce opposition to Christianity comes from their association of the religion with the West, and so they see it as it's the other, it's against everything they believe. And so obviously these things are absolutely horrible, but it's the people in these nations are actually are not only surviving the issue, but they're actually the churches are growing. And in North Korea, the same article that said that gives the details of the persecution goes on to say that there are about 400,000 Christians just in North Korea. So that even though the church is being attacked, they're actually growing, which I think is really cool. And there are a lot of reasons people give for that sort of thing. That it's it's our determination, or it's that people want to fight back with something in whatever way they can. Personally, I think the reason behind it, the motivation for people growing in spite of this, is because they're Christians. In Matthew 5:10, Jesus says, "Blessed are those who have been persecuted for the sake of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." Thank you.